Can Kylo Ren be redeemed? Or is he even sorry for what he did in Star Wars The Force Awakens? Adam Driver himself, the actor who portrays Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo, has said that in Episode 8, his character is going to have a lot more of a personal storyline and an internal conflict. On this video, we're going to discuss what he may mean and what may happen in the future of Kylo Ren. Alright, so one thing we know for certain that keeps getting brought up over and over again when we talk about Star Wars Episode 8 in interviews with both Rian Johnson, the director, as well as Adam Driver, the guy who plays Kylo Ren, is that in Episode 8, the film is going to focus a lot on Kylo Ren and on developing that character. And we're going to learn more about the character. Not necessarily backstory, but we're going to learn more about what's going through his head. And the whole thing is that you have to remember what happened in Force Awakens, and remember that Episode 8 starts right after Force Awakens. There will not be a time skip with this film. And Kylo Ren just got done killing his father. He just killed the legendary Han Solo in one of the most tragic scenes ever in Star Wars, because he felt that he had to do it in order to fully embrace the darkness, and because he wanted to avoid the light, right? Well, he also just got done losing to the scavenger and getting injured. So this guy's all tore up emotionally, physically, and I'm assuming that will be addressed in Episode 8. Now, on this edition of Star Wars Discussion, I want to talk about whether or not we believe that Kylo Ren is sorry for what he did. Is Kylo Ren, does he feel guilty about what he did? And where are they taking the Kylo Ren character? And I definitely want to get everybody's thoughts in the comments about the future of Kylo Ren. So, joining me for this discussion, you've heard his voice before, the urban acolyte himself, Prince. Hello, bro.
What's up, man?
Let's talk about some Kylo Ren. So, you've got some quotes that you pulled up. It's been talked about for a while now about, where this character's going. Enlighten me.
All right. Well, I want to call everyone's attention to the novel right after Kylo Ren has thrust his lightsaber through his father's chest. And I highlighted this a couple of lines. It says, stunned by his own action, Kylo Ren fell to his knees. We obviously didn't really see that in the movie. Following through on the act ought to have made him stronger, a part of him believed. Instead, he found himself weakened. He did not hear the roar of the enraged Wookiee above. Okay, that's when he got shot. But the whole point is, he thought that he would become stronger through the Force, and instead, his connection to the Force was made weaker. So he's already going into this fight with Rey with an L, and he felt remorse, like immediate remorse, after killing his father.
So the novel tells us that he definitely did feel remorse and guilt immediately following the death of his father. It was almost like he knew he had to do it, and I guess he was expecting to feel free, but it didn't quite happen that way.
No, I don't think so. And as far as, I don't want to skip ahead too much, but there was the statement made on the Larry King interview by Adam Driver that in Episode 8, we're going to see more of Kylo Ren or Ben Solo's humanity that will play a part in the aftermath of what he did to his father, possibly what may happen to Leia in Episode 8 as well.
Yeah, well, that one's definitely up in the air after the passing of Carrie Fisher. Now,
right.
The thing that's interesting to me is that it seems like one thing we know about Kylo Ren based on all the material we've gotten, the films, the books, as well as the visual dictionary, is that Kylo Ren is one of the most conflicted characters in the saga. Kind of like, probably like his grandfather, like Vader. And he is unstable. He, in the novel and actually in the original teaser, because this dialogue was in the film, but it was cut out, Snoke refers to Kylo as being the perfect balance of light and dark. Now, that to me is fascinating because, Leia represents the light, Grandfather Vader represents the darkness, but also Vader was redeemed, and the whole story was that Kylo is aware that Vader was redeemed and Kylo is he knows that the reason for that is it was bad. Like Snoke tells him that Vader was weak because he eventually fell to the light.
Right.
Why do you think that Kylo is so obsessed with not going back to the light? Is it a thirst for power? What do you think is really going on with this character? That's one thing I haven't been able to really wrap my head around is why is going back to the light so bad if Vader himself did it, the guy who he idolizes?
Right. I think that is something we're gonna have to wait on to find out what caused Kylo or Ben to turn in the first place. Like all we have right now is the Bloodline novel. When he finds out there's a 5 year gap between, so somewhere in that 5 years he turns, and I'm thinking that those actually I think the seeds were planted before then. But I think it has something to do with him discovering the truth about Anakin, Darth Vader, and if whether Snoke has been in contact with him from birth or made contact with him after that point. I think there was even other parties involved, but I feel like maybe there was some distrust, like some literally some daddy issues. And I kind of hinted at that in a I don't know what video I did where I
No, you
talked
you
about
did. I remember this. You talked
yeah,
about how maybe Han wasn't there for him as much as he
right,
wanted. Yeah, that,
right,
and as a result, Snoke was kind of like the father figure, kind of like how
right,
with Anakin, his only father figure was Obi-Wan. And
right,
then, of course, Palpatine was like, he nurtured him. Maybe you're thinking that Snoke may have been the father that Han Solo never was, right?
right.
Going to that point, do you think that maybe it's possible that Kylo holds that same anger, maybe not as much for Han that Anakin does for Obi-Wan, that he feels, again, daddy issues, right? Could that be the
Right.
case? But here's the question. Are we going to see a character in Episode 8 who he thinks, this is what I'm guessing, he thinks that when he killed his father, it was the ultimate dark thing to do. Like, he thought that him killing his father was going to cement him blocking the light and becoming dark, but I'm thinking that he's still, I hate to say it, but he's still not fully dark. He's going to be conflicted. He's going to be wondering, did I make the right decision? What does my mom think? Is this the right thing to do? Like, I'm guessing that's going to be the character, but then the question is he going to be redeemed? Is he redeemable?
Because he killed Han Solo, a lot of people feel that he's not redeemable, but I see this is where I have a big question, right? Snoke wants Kylo Ren to be this new kind of force user, a perfect balance of the dark and the light. So he needs to continue his training. But it's like Snoke says, I want you to be a balance, right? Some people might call it gray. The problem is
Yeah.
he keeps harping on, well, Vader turned to the light. Vader turned to the light. So it's like, I want you to be a balance of the light and the dark, but I don't want you to be persuaded by the light, meaning you go back to the light. And Kylo Ren is convinced I need to be all the way dark.
That's
So
right.
I think that's going to present some kind of issue between Kylo Ren and Snoke at some
Yeah.
point, because they're not seeing eye to eye, and that could open the door to him being either redeemed or, I've said that I think that Kylo Ren could bring the Sith back is that he finally says, screw Snoke. This dude is trying to make me do something I don't want to do. I'm going all the way dark and I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill the Knights of Ren and I'm going to run the show and call the shots. And if he does that, then I don't, if he's not redeemed, then I think he goes all the way dark and he just goes ape shit. And the cool thing is then maybe we could see what Anakin should have been if he hadn't fallen in the volcano. And that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That's what I want to see because I love the Kylo Ren character.
So do I. I think that would be awesome too. That would be and the fact that he's gonna take over for the lead villain. It's such
Yeah.
a video game kind of climax. There, he's gonna be the one to kill Snoke and be like, "No, I'm the boss now." And then he ends up, of course, losing at the end. Of course, he's gonna lose. Or maybe they'll decide that we're gonna go into episode 10 with that. I mean, we don't know. I mean, people
Yeah.
have this idea about trilogies, but if Disney wants to change things around and say, you know what, let's go beyond the trilogy this time, this story could go on for more movies, and I think money talks, brother.
They could do 6 episodes, and I said I think 7 through 9 is Kylo Ren learning to become the tyrant, like the reverse of the hero's journey. When the hero doesn't go on their journey, they become the tyrant. Example in Greek mythology is King Minos, I think. He becomes a tyrant, right? Kylo Ren does that. You
Well,
have
you
episodes,
could also say Two-Face from The Dark Knight.
yeah, Two Face too, yeah, yeah, he becomes a tyrant, the villain. Then you have episodes 10, 11, 12, whatever Kylo, whether he brings back the Sith or he does something else, now he's the big bad. And now you have an entire story. And if people say, I want to see Rey go to the dark side, personally, I don't. But you could do it there where maybe she gets tempted the same way Luke got tempted when he
Yeah,
was trying to
but
take down
but
Palpatine
then
in
we need,
Legend.
we need a new hero. If you've got Kylo and Rey on the other side, you know,
You need new Jedi.
yeah, we need a new hero. And maybe you're right. Maybe they will go that way. I mean, that is very possible. I like the idea because they could do two trilogies, like maybe have 10 through 12 be the redemption of Kylo Ren if he can even
Yeah.
be redeemed. Kind of like the Vader thing. Like 1 through 3 is Vader's going dark, and then 4 through 6 is he comes back to the light. Maybe that's how it is with Kylo. Maybe it'll be, 7 through 9 is bad, and then 10 through 12 is good. I mean, who really knows? I mean, but the point is that money talks, bro, and
Right.
the story could go on, who knows where this is even going to go. But let us know your thoughts down below in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think Kylo Ren is going to be conflicted? I mean, we know it's going to be a more personal story. Do you think he'll be conflicted in Episode 8? Do you think he has remorse and regret for what he did? Do you think that he will eventually turn on Snoke? I want answers from the Star Wars community here on Geekdom 101. And, of course, check out Urban Acolytes. There's always content on that channel and deep philosophical discussions about Dragon Ball. Blah, it's my other fucking stuff I talk about Star Wars. And there's a couple Dragon Ball videos there too, but mostly
Yeah.
Star Wars and, of course, martial arts and meditation and whatnot. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. I always enjoy it.
All right, and again, let us know your thoughts down below. We'll talk to y'all later.